So the Oilers Oilers fans, the Rogers Place faithful, boo Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway basically whenever they touch the puck. Broberg got it a little bit harder than Holloway, which I think is understandable. But then there was kind of this like hand wringing online from members of the Edmonton media, members of the national media. Kelly Rudy on Hockey Night in Canada had things to say about it. So there was a big sense of like, why are you booing them? Like, you all would have taken the contract too. You would all take a pay raise. Yeah, no shit. Yeah. But here's the thing. It's not that deep. Like, it's sports. Yeah. It's fun. And at the end of the day, Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway signed predatory offer sheets with another Western Conference team and are no longer Oilers. It's okay to boo them. Like, booing them is not sitting there and saying you hate them. Booing them is not sitting there saying you didn't like them when they were Oilers. Booing them is not sitting there and saying you think they made a bad choice or that you would have done something different and you're on some sort of, on a little soapbox and some sort of moral high ground. Like, booing players is fun. Sports is supposed to be fun. And like Mulek says, I'm not allowed to be a fan of the other team's players. Yeah, like, it's fun to boo them. And that game on Saturday night, from the boos to the Skinner's better chant to the Broberg, all of it, it was fun. That's what it's supposed to be like. You don't need to sit there and have your little suit done up and just go, no, we need to respect everybody. Like, sitting and complaining about the booing, again, I can understand going, and like we had the former players on last week, Demers and Ennis, and they're like, why would you? And I totally understand the former players' perspective, and I think it's valid, but we're fans. And we don't operate on that same wavelength. You left the Oilers, you get booed when you come to town.
Yeah, I think sometimes for how aggressive and physical hockey can be, it can be pretty soft in moments too. And I think saying like, don't boo Broberg and Holloway or any former player, like, it's allowed. Like, it built such a great atmosphere in Rogers Place. I don't think anything was out of malicious. Like, I don't think it was like they were saying, like you said, like they hate these guys now. It was just like, you play for the other team. You decided for an RFA, you are, again, very restricted. It's in the name of what you can do. And the only way you can go is if you get these offer sheets and everything. And I think the Oilers did Broberg and Holloway wrong in the way the negotiations went. And I think everyone can agree with that. Yeah. But they had every right to sign, and we now have every right to boo them.
Exactly.
I thought it was actually, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but it went that way, and it built a great atmosphere in Rogers Place, and I'm sure it helped the Oilers as well. Like, Stuart Skinner responded to it in the postgame, and was just like, yeah, it's going to happen. There you go. What does that say? You should have heard the boos I get when we were playing away. There's a lot of things I could say about getting booed. Laughs. Ha ha ha. They probably expected it. That's I can't read it anymore. Can you read that next part?
That's why it's so hard to play in our barn. They were even chanting Binner's name after we got 1 or 2 goals. It feels nice to be on the other side of that. I've definitely been there. Like, yes, that part right there. That's why it's so hard to play in our barn. What do people talk about? Think about it in the NFL or in other sports. When you go to Philly and it's like, yeah, they threw batteries at Santa, like, or whatever that is. Yeah. Like, when you go to Philly, it's a notoriously hard place to play. Why are we sitting here? And I see Sam Scotch says, like, it seems a little classless, but I don't feel bad. It's not classless because it's sports. So. It's not like you were chanting anything derogatory. It's not like you were crossing some sort of a line. You're booing him. Yeah. You're chanting Broberg's name. What did Demers say on Friday? Like, Broberg's not soft, but he's meek. Like, that probably rattled him a little bit. So good. I want every goalie who comes into Edmonton. Think about in the playoffs when we were doing the goalie chants and all that. The best. It gets in guys' heads.
Broberg also had a turnover on the McDavid goal. Yeah. Shout out the fans.
Bingo, right? Like, come on. It's good. And even if it doesn't matter, when BM and I went to that Vikings bar in Denver to watch the Vikings play, and it's packed with Vikings fans, and they're sitting there and they do this chant. And if the Vikings get a stop on third down after they do their little chant, they do this thing where they go, one guy stands up, he goes, "What we do here," then everyone goes, "Matters there." And like, to me, that is what booing them and having those kinds of things does. Like, even if it doesn't matter, as a fan, it's nice to feel like maybe it does. And someone in here talking about Fogle. Like, Fogle's not getting booed. No one cares that Warren Fogle left. It's different because it's the offer sheet and there's the predatory angle of it.
Yeah, I agree. Someone put it higher up in the chat that I scrolled by now, but Wayne Gretzky got booed.
Yeah.
I think if you watch like a lot of other sports, especially European sports, like, players are treated way differently. in a bad way. Yesterday, I was watching Chelsea versus Tottenham. Every single time a Chelsea player went to take a corner, anything that anybody could find was thrown onto the pitch at that player. Granted, I do not condone that kind of behavior. That's probably wrong. Definitely wrong. Not probably, but it's just like booing is so soft. It really shouldn't.
That is so far away from even being at the line.
Exactly. So boo everyone. Boo Fogo when he comes.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soccer goalie's been like killed before for like letting in
Tons
goals.
of things.
Tons
of stuff.
Are we really that soft over here about booing?
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.